I grew up in New York State, and I was there from pretty much birth until I moved to Maine in 2003, and I went to the University of Albany for undergraduate and Binghamton University for master's. When I moved to Maine in 2003, I moved straight to Portland with my fiance, who was also a Mainer, and she and I lived in Portland for um, almost 10 years. And there I worked as a editor at one point, and then I got into teaching. Um, and then I moved to Central Maine after we had kids and started working at Bangor High School. So Bangor High School is my third school that I've taught at since I've come to Maine. Sanford, Windham, and then Bangor. And at Bangor I teach English and mostly seniors and sophomores. I enjoy that work. Here's my family. There's Meg, Wade, Finley, and myself. We were snookered into doing family pictures at my sister's house back in New York last summer, and these are our glam shots. It was kind of weird, but it was fun too. The pictures came out pretty nice, and those are my kids. There's Emma and my kids on a big old snow pile. That's life in Maine. Emma is a half-owned dog. We see her every now and then. She's one of three in our dog pack. She's a great dog, and she vacations in Jackman in the summer, so I don't really get to see her other than the winters when she lives with us. And the one on the right there is Milo, and this is a great picture because Milo is a bit of a dog bed bully. And for our other black lab, he always pushes her off the bed so he can take it for himself. But here you can see that Emma's not putting up with his baloney, so he reluctantly sat on it next to her. I love to do projects. Here's a big project I did in the spring. I cleared all this section out and over here, and I got rid of all these roots and branches and all this other stuff. And there's that trusty trailer of mine that helps bring in stuff and take things out. This summer I did a huge project where from the patio area all the way over and then down, I laid a patio walkway, which was a tremendous amount of work, but I'm really proud of it, and it was my big summer accomplishment. Here's the lucky trailer again. This is the section outside of the fence when I brought in tons of dirt to backfill after I laid the pavers, and then I had to bring in this crusher dust, and this was the final stages of it. Without this 4x8 trailer, I couldn't do any of these projects, so it's pretty important. This summer, I also got to go to Boston, and my son and I got to see a Red Sox game. And here's us at the game. It was the New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox. I didn't know how conflicted I would be, but I really was because the Red Sox spanked the Yankees, ultimately winning 19-3. Here's me wearing a mustache because one of my jobs as a dad is to embarrass my kids. So I had grow a beard, and then I decided to shave it just down to the mustache, and here's me trying to make my son feel uncomfortable with his dad with his mustache. Big part of Maine for me is being on the water. So this is a canoe I have, and my son and I go on it a lot, and it's a lot of fun. I really like to be on the ocean, but having moved from New York, where I was close to the ocean, to Maine, and from Portland to here, I have to do some lake stuff. So here's my daughter a couple years ago on a sailboat that I was using as a motorboat on Pushaw Lake in Glenburn, which isn't very far from my house in Orono. And I just love this shot of her. She's very capable, even at a very young age, of being a good helper. So this summer we got down to my friend's house in Rhode Island, and we got out on his parents' boat, and this is a shot of Taylor Swift's Watch Hill house, where someone recently broke in and took his shoes off to be polite. But I try to get on the water if I'm in Maine or elsewhere as much as I can. And if we're not in the water, then we go see the sea creatures. So from this place in Rhode Island, we got down to Connecticut, and we got to walk around the Mystic Aquarium and see all of the different animals that there are there. My kids particularly love the Um, the fish. This is a fun picture. This is my son riding a brand new bike. It was right after Christmas this year, and I got a gift card for Christmas. And we walked into LL Bean, and this bike was on super sale. And with the gift card, I couldn't resist. So we scooped up the bike, and that's him taking a ride. So living in Orono and going to UMaine games, it's kind of weird because I went to undergrad at University at Albany, and we play, as UMaine does, Albany all the time. So there's another conflict. I usually root for UMaine, but I do like to go see the Great Danes. And one of the hobbies I picked up has been smoking meats as a barbecue enthusiast. So here's me preparing some rubbed barbecue ribs, and it's one of the hobbies I've really developed over the last couple of years. My friends love it when I'm doing smoked meats. And then here's my wife and son drawing at Flatbread. This is a flatbread pizzeria in New Hampshire. We go to Flatbread Pizza wherever we can and wherever we can, and it's one of the parts of our family.